we're back again.
Welcome back.
This time we're going to show you how to do a landscape painting or a seascape painting.
One a bit like this, one a bit like this, or another one we've got, or like this. This one is a plain one, or we've got one with a bit of...
Well, we can show them that one later, can't we?
Yeah.
So something like this, very basic,
Yeah.
very simple. So,
and afterwards you can add like a little bit of detail and things like that on.
Yeah, so I think the first thing we need to do is say, you can use any kind of paint. We are using acrylics because it's my favourite type of paint. I like using acrylic because you can layer up. You can, if you make a mistake, you can just paint over it. A bit harder to do that if you've got watercolour, but whatever you've got, you might have...
just that one. It doesn't matter what kind of paint you use.
You might have nicked some paint off your kids.
Even if it's just watercolour pencils, as long as you can paint over it afterwards, fine.
Right, now, so you need a palette.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing watercolour and you've got a watercolour palette.
We're going to use a smaller palette today.
This is the palette I use for everything. It's my, it's just a lid. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm using this kind of lid today. Okay, Luke's using a bit more of a fancy palette, but it doesn't have to be a fancy palette.
Oh dear, some of it's our paint is dropped
off. Right, okay, so first thing we're going to do is put our horizon line in, and it's always important to put a horizon line in. And some of you might be wondering what a horizon line is.
A horizon line is just something what separates. So like the sky, the mountains, you know, and the sand, to each little bit.
Horizon line is where the sky meets the land or the sea. It's always dead straight. It may look sometimes that it's not so straight. It might look like it's a bit up like that, but that's because of the mountains, whatever. But on the whole, it's always completely straight. And I think you've already done one earlier, haven't you?
If you haven't got sellotape, maybe you can use
a
roller or something. If you've got a masking tape, that'd be
right. So Luke's already put his horizon line in. And he's already started painting his. He's just going to do a bit more detail. So the first thing we're going to do is the blue sky.
And you can add your birds and clouds in as well.
Yeah. So we're going to use, and do you remember what was said? That at the top of the sky tends to be darker. If you look outside now at your own sky, and you look, it's darker. As it gets
depending where you are.
Depends on what time they're looking at.
Around where we are, it's actually it's pretty dark.
Some nice blue sky up there. And as it gets closer to the horizon line, it gets paler. Okay, it's not as bright as it is. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start off. I've just mixed up some blue. Now, I never like taking the colours directly from the tube. I always like to mix it with something else. So,
of course, that's the artist.
You think I'm being awkward then? I'm just not happy with what's out of the tube. So I'm going to have to show it like this actually. So we're just going to put on this lovely blue colour.
So we're just going to
if you're using acrylics, then if you're using watercolour, it's the same principle. You need to add water.
To be fair, we don't really know what we're using. When we say it's watercolour, we don't know if it's watercolour. We probably just got a cheap one. That's what we were discussing
This is acrylic
earlier.
actually. Right, so as you're going down, you should be able to try and get paler and paler by adding more water to it. That's the idea. Okay.
Now for the sand,
you can change the tone of it.
And afterwards, when you do the sand, you can use kind of a different colour as well. So we got two kinds of yellow for the sand, haven't we?
We have, yeah. So I think just whack on the sky. Just put that on nice. Don't think about it too much. When people start thinking about their painting too much, it's like I suppose like making a cake. When you worry too much about it, it never turns out. So just whack it on. Enjoy the experience of painting it on. Okay. And as I said, if we can have it a bit darker at the top. Now, as you know, when you look outside the skies, it's not always blue. It's very rare that it's kind of pale blue. Get some gorgeous red skies, orange skies. So feel free to add some of that into your sky if you want. We're going to put quite a few clouds in this one.
It's also, it depending what time it is. So if it's at night, you kind of get different colours of stuff. Now you could base yours at night time, or you could base your time at daytime, can't you?
You can.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to just put a bit of orangey sort of colour in here. Not sure whether this will work out or not, but on we go. I don't know why, but whenever I do skies, they start off looking all pretty and nice, and then they end up looking quite menacing looking. So you might not want to copy mine. Might want to put something a bit more cheerful. So, okay, so I think that's where I'm going to leave it like that for the time being.
And just something that we did.
Oh, just really quickly. Now, white paint. I like using just house white paint. House white matte paint. I think it gives.
Yeah.
You get nice.
That's good for the clouds, isn't it?
Good for the clouds, and it's nice. So I'm going to add a few little clouds in here now, just a little bit. And remember, the same principle goes for the clouds at the top of your page. Is going to be bigger than the clouds at the bottom to give that illusion.
So it's going to be lighter. It's going to be lighter at the top, and it's going to be darker at the bottom.
I don't know if they can see this at home.
Yeah, look, I can see it.
Okay. We haven't got much blue here.
By the way, the teddy bears and the stormtroopers were looking good yesterday, so please post yours in.
They were looking fabulous, weren't they? Oh my gosh.
So we'd like to see these as well.
There were so many good names as well.
We'd like to see these ones
One called
as well.
Chocolate Bear. And the bear that had.
Unfortunately, we didn't get many stormtroopers.
We did. We got quite a few.
Did we? You never showed me one of them.
We did. There was quite a lot of them. Did I show you? I probably didn't show you. Maybe I didn't show you Addie's one this morning because that just came in. I'll show you that one. That was looking brilliant as well. Did I show you? I showed you Mahir's.
No, you showed me Mahir's bear.
Yeah, it's the bear.
But Addie's bear is already come in.
And all the others I showed you, didn't I?
No, you didn't actually. With the bears, no, you didn't.
When I show you them, you'll go, oh, yeah, I've already seen that one.
Anyway, let's get on back with the art.
Yeah. None of us nattering away.
Yeah.
About what you've seen and what you haven't seen. So again, I'm just putting a little bit of work down here. I think I probably put a bit too much clouds in there.
Actually, it'd be good that I've already done it because I can now do the clouds, and I couldn't do the clouds at that moment.
No, if you're using, that's a good point, Luke, actually. If you're using watercolour that, you might want to wait until it's sort of dried a bit. Also, we're using watercolour, you might have to leave a few little gaps. There is a thing called masking fluid that you can put on, you peel it off afterwards and then put your clouds on, but I'm guessing a lot of people
hasn't got it.
won't have that.
And obviously now the shops have closed. Actually, we've been to the pound shop. That's probably the only kind of that shop that's open now. There you can buy your things. You can that's probably the only shop you'll be able to buy that in right now.
Well, probably still can order online.
Yeah.
I think my sky's looking a bit
But obviously
stormy
now
looking.
online is getting really hard to do.
Yeah. Okay, so when you've got to that stage, let's wash out our paintbrushes. We're going to peel off the masking tape. You should have a nice straight line underneath. Oh no, unless what has just happened to mine.
Because
Taken off some
yeah,
of the
it's because it's not a
paper.
canvas, is it?
It's not a canvas, and it's because I haven't exactly let it dry because we're in a bit of a rush, and also because I rushed and took it off instead of taking my time. Oh. Right, okay. I think I've rescued it. No, I'm not very happy with the sky. It's a bit too bright for me.
I probably need some more of that colour if you've got any more of that.
Okay, give me a second.
And you have, or maybe what I need to do is just a bit of.
I am going to calm my clouds down a bit. They're a bit too white. Just by going over a little bit. Okay, I feel a bit happier about that now.
And sometimes it's good if you use a fat brush. Sometimes it's good if you use a fat brush like this to do the
Did I tell them what brush is? I don't think I did.
No.
Right. Okay.
I was gonna say. Anyway, this brush is really good sometimes.
Yeah. So these are the brushes that I quite like using. Thank you for reminding me, Lee.
Yeah.
So this is one of my favourite ones. Flat one, slightly rounded, size 6 or 8. And then again another slightly rounded one, size 6 or 4. I think it's 4. And then it's good to have a size 2. Even if you get a size 0, it's quite good. And then just a rounded size 4 or 6. They're my favourite ones.
Sometimes to do the sand and the sky, I think this one would be a good one.
Obviously, don't ever leave your paintbrushes in the
Yeah.
water. Well, I think I've told you off a few times over that, haven't I, Luke?
Yeah.
I know at primary school they tend to always say, put your paintbrushes in the water before you go to break or whatever, and that's such a wrong thing to do. No, you need to wash it out and then put it aside. If you leave it in the water, it's going to go like that.
Obviously, this is going to be all ages of people who are at school. Take that advice and say no to the teacher.
Oh, no, we don't want to cause any argument. Just wash it out and put it to the side before you go to break or whatever. Right, okay, let's do the bottom part now. I'm going to do it pretty much like this one. I'm going to have a bit of a sandy sort of scene. So, did you want more yellow, did you say, Liz?
I was thinking more of this colour.
That colour, what was that colour?
No, I think I'm okay.
Oh, was that?
It
was
that
that
hard
this?
one.
Oh, right, you can have my one because I don't think I'm going to use much of it.
No, I think I'm a bit okay.
Are you? So I've just given it to you, you don't need it now.
I didn't know, maybe I would do a little bit more.
Okay, so let's get on with the bottom bit.
than that. Oops, I'll get that in a second.
And again, just work it on, don't worry too much about it. And again, it's going to be darker down the end of your page compared to the bit that meets the horizon line. But for now, you can just put it on. Obviously, you can go a bit slower than I am. I'm just trying to quicken up for the process of this video.
Yeah.
But you can
Go a
take your
lot
time.
slower.
Okay, I'm going to add a bit of white up at the top. Okay, hopefully you can see that.
Surprise enough, I can see it. So, of course, as well, you can change the colour of sand and things like that.
Yeah.
So that colour's going to be a little bit peachy. Mine is a little bit darker.
Right, well, I think we're actually going to leave it at this stage, let it dry, and maybe next week we can put some...
No, tomorrow. We're going to do it tomorrow.
No, next week. Because this will be for tomorrow by the time they see this.
Oh, yeah.
So, next week.
Sorry, it's just we're doing it a day behind.
Yeah. No, it's really Friday today. Right, okay, so next week we might put some mountains in or some of the little details. Where's that painting? You can put little people into your painting if you want. Like this
So it'll be next Friday.
painting of Grandad and Luke.
Yeah.
Into the same
So
sort of scene.
next Friday, that's when you'll be probably finishing this painting off.
Right.
Or you can do it in your own time, can't you?
So I think we'll leave it at that. If you just make sure, as I said, darker at the top, going lighter. I'll probably put a bit more dark on this, and then again near the horizon, a bit lighter, and go darker towards the end. And then next week, as I said, we can put we can put a mountain in, we can put some little details in here. And then the week after that, we'll start doing some drawing exercise, which will be, you know, how to sort of sketch out certain things and some basic principles that you can do at home. Right, okay then, so I think, should we say goodbye for now then?
Yeah.